Good day, everyone. For today's lesson, we were discussing about proving arguments using rules of inferences. So before we start our lesson, let's introduce first the SDGs we're going to use on proving arguments. So we have SDG number 3, good health and well-being. Next is the SDG number 4, the quality education. And lastly, SDG number 13, the climate action. So let's start with our lesson. First, what is an argument? So an argument is the process of establishing the validity of a deduction. So let's introduce the rules of inferences. First is the modus ponens, next is the modus tollens, addition, simplification, next is the conjunction, disjunctive syllogism, hypothetical syllogism, and lastly, the constructive dilemma. So let's start with the first SDG. The SDG number 3, good health and well-being. So here's the statement. If either the university doesn't provide accessible exercise facilities or doesn't encourage physical activity, then students are engaging in regular physical activity and are more knowledgeable about the benefits of physical activity. If students are engaging in regular physical activity and are more knowledgeable about the benefits of physical activity, then they report improved physical fitness. Students are not reporting improved physical fitness. Therefore, the university provides accessible exercise facilities and encourages physical activity. So here's are the variables of these statements. So let A, university provide accessible exercise facilities. B, university encourage physical activity. C, students are engaging in regular physical activity. D, students are reporting improved physical fitness. Lastly, the E, more knowledgeable about the benefits of physical activity. So at this moment, we have to prove the arguments. So we need to prove A and B. Here's the given. The negation of A or negation of B implies to C and E. So it is our first premise. So our second premise is C and E implies to D. And the third is negation of D. So number 4, negation of C and E, which is obtained by modus tollens of 2 and 3. So number 5 is the negation of A or negation of B, which is obtained by modus tollens 1 and 4. So lastly, the number 6. We prove that A and B, which obtains by De Morgan's number 5.
The next is SDG number 4, which is the quality education. First example in the arguments is if CAMSU invests in modern teaching technologies, then it enhances the learning experience for student. If CAMSU enhances the learning experience for student, then it's improve their academic performance. CAMSU does not improve student academic performance. Therefore, CAMSU does not invest in modern teaching technologies, and CAMSU does not enhance the learning experience for student. So the next slide is the statements composed of the three variable which are T, E, and A. So first is T. CAMSU invests in modern teaching technologies. Second is the E, which is it enhances the learning experience for student. And A, it improves their academic performance.
So the next slide is we need to prove the SDG number 4, which is education. So first we need to prove negation of T and negation of E. So first the given number 1 is T implies E. This is the first premise. The second is E implies A. This is the second premise. And lastly, negation of A. So next, the number 4, negation of E, which obtains modus tollens number 2 and 3. So the number 5 is negation of T, which obtain modus tollens 1 and 4. So lastly, the number 6, we prove that negation of T and negation of E, which obtain conjunction, the number 5 and 4.
So the next is DG, number 13, which is climate change. So the example of this in this argument is if Kamsu implements energy efficient practices on campus, then it reduces its carbon footprint. If Kamsu reduces its carbon footprint, then it contributes to mitigating climate change. CAMSU implements energy efficient practices on campus. Therefore, CAMSU contributes to mitigating climate change and CAMSU reduces its carbon footprint. So the next slide is the statements with composed of the three variables. First is the E, second is the F, third is the M. First is E. CAMSU implements energy efficient practices. Second is F. It reduces its carbon footprint. M. It contributes to mitigating climate change.
So lastly, we need to prove the SDG number 13, which is the climate action. So we need to prove M and F. The given are number 1, E implies F. This is the first premise. Second is F implies M. This is the second premise. And lastly, the number 3, which is E.
Number 4, F, which obtained by modus ponens 1 and 3.
So next is the number 5, which is M, which obtains modus ponens number 2 and 4. So lastly, we prove that M and F, which obtains conjunctions, the number 6 and 5.
So that's all, and that's how we prove an argument. Thank you.